moving through Illinois. I want you to watch what happens when the tornado comes through. An empty boxcar or container car can weigh about 30 tons when it's empty and over 100 tons when it's full. That tornado blew those cars over like they didn't weigh anything. So let's just think about, watch this, look at this tanker coming into the back of the train as that camera mounted on the train just gives us an extraordinary view of the horrors and the power of a tornado. Well, we want to talk about the power of twisters with storm chaser Warren Fadley, who joins us today. Warren, it's good to have you with us. You were the original storm chaser, and I think people need to understand that a storm chaser such as yourself is not just somebody with a hobby and a flip cam running out chasing tornadoes in some dangerous way, but actually studying them from their origin, their impact. Let's begin. How does a tornado get started? What is the reason that we see tornadoes, and why so many of them all of a sudden?
Well, first of all, I'd like to say my prayers and thoughts do go out to the families there in Alabama and the other states. Having been a journalist and seen many of these events, I know what goes on there, and my thoughts are with you. As far as what creates a tornado, there's really about 3 or 4 things you have to have. I mean, everyone sees a thunderstorm go up in the summer, and usually they're nothing but other than a couple of lightning strikes or maybe a little bit of rain or hail. But when you have a day like you had on the 27th, you had several elements coming together, the right place at the right time. You had some of the cold air from the north coming down to meet the warmer Gulf moisture in the southeast. You had a couple of fronts and boundaries, upper air disturbance moving into the area. But most importantly, what really changed this whole story was the jet stream, and along with that jet stream, what we call the wind shear. And the wind shear is the winds that increase with height and change direction. So if you think of a solid object, it actually begins to turn that. Like if you had a cube in the sky, if you could imagine that was a storm and the wind's hitting it from an angle, it begins to spin the storm. And the lower levels, when you get down to the ground, gets a little bit more complicated. But all of these elements came together, the right time of day, the right place, and unfortunately you end up with these violent tornadoes.
When we look at some of the amazing footage, particularly from Tuscaloosa and then over in Smithville, Mississippi, that was a EF5, it's really stunning that we didn't see thousands of deaths rather than hundreds, and hundreds are way too many. But Warren, one of the things that's happened, Doppler weather radar warning systems have given people a great deal more opportunity to run for cover. How much has that really made an impact in the number of lives that we see saved in light of this spectacular damage?
Oh, it's saving thousands of lives. I mean, it's kind of hard to go and look back and see how it actually did. But Doppler radar, the people at the Weather Service, the storm spotters, the live TV coverage, which I think probably saved thousands of lives, and maybe some of the education that people had there undoubtedly saved thousands of lives. Of course, they did have some problems that morning because of prior thunderstorms and communication, so some of those systems may have been out, which will be discovered here as they check out the scene. But it's just mind-boggling to still have this kind of destruction, and unfortunately the death count low. But if you looked at this and didn't know, you would think it would be much higher.
Let's talk about what do people do when the tornadoes come. We have a little piece of footage, Warren, that shows a Kansas tornado. Our own Greg Jarrett happened to be there capturing this footage when he was a reporter at this time, and people are climbing up under an overpass looking for cover, and we're going to see this tornado literally coming right at them. They got out of their cars, and you can see the debris, extraordinary impact and force. You can hear the horror in their voices as they see this twister coming their way. Was this a smart thing for them to do, to go up into, in essence, the crease of the overpass?
No, it's not advised. Actually, that is something you do not want to do. You do not want to crawl under one of these underpasses. They discovered, like in 1999 near Oklahoma City, when a powerful tornado hit, that it actually sucked the people out of there and they were killed. What happened is the winds actually compress. If you know anything about physics, when you reduce that size with the winds flowing through, you get a Venturi effect, and that will actually increase the wind field. So you do not want to go under an underpass. Although it looks tempting, you'd be much better getting out of the car and finding a ditch or a ravine to lay in.
So you say get low, don't get anywhere near above ground. Get as low as possible.
Absolutely. I was talking to radio stations the other day when this was going on. I was giving them live information, telling people what to do, and I said, listen, with these kind of tornadoes, these EF4s, EF5s, you really need to be underground. That may be your only way to survive.
Stormchaser.com is Warren's website. I hope if you want more information on the remarkable work that he has done, he's got a couple of books that really help you. One is a survival guide to storms, and I highly recommend you taking a look, especially if you live anywhere in that area that we call Tornado Alley, as I have for most of my life. Warren, thank you very much for being with us today, and I hope that people will take this seriously. It could save their lives.
Thank you, Governor. Appreciate it.